Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you tonight in this space. I come with peace, I come with humility, and I also come with a lot of anger. Um, Watching this play was tough. Um, Growing up in Milwaukee, I experienced a lot of things that resonated with me from the play. Um, and I'm not a crier, so because as a Puerto Rican male, I was raised that only women cried. Emotions were a signal of weakness. So please allow me to struggle with you here a little bit as I gather my thoughts. But I grew up on Holton and Garfield, a little stretch on Holton that was called as a little Puerto Rican barrio on the north side, east side, really. Um, and grew up really with a narrative that as a man of color, as a Puerto Rican male, my future would only involve several things, whether it was jail, gang banging, or early death. Uh, and sadly, I heard that from adults in my own life. I heard that from adults that I was entrusted to in the schools. I went to View School. I went to North Division High School, um, and in my home, I struggled daily because a lot of the violence and the hopelessness. My father beat up my mother repeatedly. I would struggle with that, and I was very angry. Similarly, on the street, uh, was always a good student, even though I was a troublemaker. Um, Got good grades. I didn't feel I was challenged enough. Um, I would get made fun of by teachers, uh, typically white teachers, because they felt that as a Puerto Rican, first of all, they didn't even know that I was a citizen, so that was a whole other issue. But um, on the streets, I had this constant struggle between what do I do, how do I overcome this? Do I join a gang because they're showing me love? Do I not? What do I pursue? Um, and I experienced a lot of things with guns being put to my head, um, being accused of being a gang member when I had a 3.7 GPA in high school. Even with my wife, I've been with my wife 21 years. Got pulled over, had shotguns to the back of my head. Um, so that's trauma, and a dehumanization that our young men, particularly Black and Latino males, deal with on a daily basis and deal with in Milwaukee. In the space that I am right now, where I'm one of the co-directors for the Department of Black and Latino Male Achievement, we get an opportunity to really listen to the voices of our young men. Our vision is really to collaboratively create spaces, structures, and change systems so that they ensure success for our Black and Latino males. Currently, um, our Black young males graduate at about a 49.5% clip. Our Latino males are at about a 57.5% clip. And so we are in a position where we're killing our kids every single day. And when I think of Milwaukee, I think of a city that its segregation, the dehumanization, was by design. When we think about the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the redlining, the way, I looked at a map of the 50s and 60s, how they color coded the city of Milwaukee and where you really didn't want to live, and this is where colored folks lived. Um, we all have to own that. Everyone in this room, everyone in the city of Milwaukee have to own that. And so I'm getting my time here. And so I really want to talk a little bit about that that passion, that conviction, that experience that I bring, that trauma that I bring to this work is really about, a couple of things. One is we want to teach our young men the greatness that is already within them. We want to teach our young men that the narratives that are shared about them or perpetuated in the media are not true. You develop your own narrative. We want to teach our young men that they are successful, they can be successful, and they can be whatever they want to be. And we're doing that through what we're calling our manhood academies. Secondly, in our schools, we struggle with over-identifying our students, our Black and Latino males, when it comes to special education, when it comes to suspensions. We need to work with our schools on how do we improve school climate and culture so that our young men feel a sense of belonging to our schools. Black and Latino male mentorship. I'm going to read a couple quick statements of our young men, and we've had the opportunity to go to about over 30 schools, about 1,000 Black and Latino males, and this is what they wish their teachers knew about them. Quote, "The strongest way to connect with students is to engage them on a personal level. Treating our struggling students as another blank face or another number keeps them from feeling important and wanting to succeed. Teachers need to understand that not everyone learns the same, and their teaching practices should reflect that. Understanding that us young men don't have a positive male role model in our lives. Some of us don't even have a father at home, and I think this is why some of us be disrupting. They think we disrupt them because we don't care about our education. There's a lot going on in our lives." And so with that, there are a lot of opportunities in Milwaukee. We've had the opportunity to really connect with a lot of folks doing this work that really believe in this work. I was just at a round table last night with Atlantic talking about the very same issue. When you talk about mass incarceration, the criminal justice system, how that's slanted, and those are systems that must change. So I am hopeful because the greatness in our city are our youth, are our Black and Latino males. They're assets to this community. The only time that Milwaukee will be great is when we all are successful. And so I urge all of you to please be a part of that effort to change the systems that have oppressed marginalized groups for over 400 years. Thank you.